What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Seth, and we are back again with some more Trove. Something's happening. Patch notes. That was weird, wasn't it? Die, fish! It's been a long time since we had like a proper patch, and unfortunately, we see not only some Uggles things just added to this patch in general, which you know me, old ranting size plays. I'm gonna be talking about the things that I don't like about it. But unfortunately, the biggest thing that this patch was supposed to be doing in the first place was it was supposed to be fixing an exploit with a lot of the characters in the Shadow Tower. And unfortunately, it did not fix the specific issue with the Revenant exploit where he's like super duper overpowered. Now, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want people to do it. Of course, you are susceptible to being banned from the game permanently if you end up taking advantage of exploits. That said, what I do want to get a point across here is I've seen lots and lots of people saying, you should main the Rev, he's super powerful. And it's like, while the Revenant has actually been, you know, tweaked and had his rework and is definitely a mainable character in the game, you shouldn't be maining the character just because of an exploit, and that's why so many people are suggesting other players to start using him right now because, oh, he's so powerful in Shadow Towers. No, it's because you're cheating. So anyways, let's get right to it. So the Super Starter Pack has now been added to the store and replaces the Jump Start Pack. So I'll have a video separately that's going to talk about the items in it, but in short, for those of you that are mastery farmers, you're gonna have to buy the pack. Unfortunately, though the pack has 4 rows of inventory slots, which is useless for most of us at the end game, this is a great pack for starting players, don't get me wrong. But for somebody like myself, I get frustrated when they do stuff like this, where you get 4 inventory slot rolls, 10 chaos chests, useless, 10 greater dragon caches. The devs consider these things to be valuable. These things suck. 10 super style caches, which I've already got like over 700, but then more importantly, they end up giving us a new mount. So this mount right here is new and exclusive to the pack, which means that for mastery farmers, you're gonna have to drop down $5, which I'm not complaining, except it's just kind of frustrating that it's like, dude, if I'm gonna be dropping down $5, give me more than just a mount. You know, that said, the pack's gonna be useful for a whole lot of extra of everybody else, and of course you're going to end up getting a free flying mount out of it, so it's definitely good for starting players that don't have anything, even if it's kind of a disgusting mount. It's not really my favorite. I'm not really a fan of the rockets, what can I say? Anyways, they also added the Lustrous Dragon Deal has been added to the store and is a repeatable purchase. So this is where we're going to dig right into this one, folks. The Lustrous Dragon Deal is going to give you 10 greater dragon caches, which, to put it into perspective, you're going to have to watch some of my other videos because I already have a video where I unboxed. It's the value of $1,000 spent on greater dragon caches alone, but I did it on the test server, so I just want to give a heads up. Some people get triggered about that, even though it's still the same value. It's just I didn't have to waste my money. Anyways, greater dragon caches, for the most part, just drop dragon coins. That is their primary function, I would say, if you're buying greater dragon caches, is just to end up getting yourselves the dragon coins. Now we do finally see a way that we can pay to win ourselves some diamond dragonite, but for some dumb reason it's at 24, meaning that you're gonna have to buy the pack one extra time. Then rather than just buying it 4 times, you're gonna have to buy it once more to get that full 100 diamond dragonite, because whoever is sitting over there at Trine Worlds making these design choices is an absolute greedy snake in the grass. And then we've got the Lustrous gem boxes themselves. That's where the Lustrous comes in with the dragon deal, and I like the idea of the game adding gem augmenters and gem rerollers to the cash shop. I'm not against that, because in my mind, though, whenever it comes to like these kind of pay to win aspects of the game, it's like you may as well make it so that I'm getting my money's worth, and this pack in my mind is not worth it, because for pretty much the same amount of money, like it's 3,000 credits, right? So roughly you're spending like 20 bucks, or you can end up buying the credit pouches. And then you could just end up selling those and waiting for your Bound Brilliance, which of course is going to end up being expensive, to end up getting your hands on the gem augmenters and the gem boosters and stuff like that, right? Because the thing is, my point that I'm trying to make is, I wish that they would just put augmenters and rerollers into the cash shop. This technically puts them in the cash shop, but it's RNG. And when you're spending real life money, I think that it should negate RNG, because otherwise there's way too many boxes in this game, dude. Like, seriously. That said, those cash whales out there is primarily what Tron Worlds is aiming their store packs at. So I don't mean to rant about it too long here, folks. It's just, for me, even though I'm a pay-to-win player, this is a useless pack. So I'd say for those of you that are an average player that just kind of buys things in Trove, you're gonna want to avoid this. But for people that are at the end game and just cash whales in general, I mean, this is just a pay-to-win method, though RNG, that you can end up getting augmenters and re-rollers out of the illustrious gem boxes. Anyway, sorry I rambled on so long about that one. So anyways, fixed a crash that could occur when taking a screenshot by pressing F12. I like how it says could occur. It occurred every single time. So finally, we actually have that being resolved. That was an issue to do with Steam overlay, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was just, I guess it was just in the game's code in general, but I think it was the Steam version of the game had the biggest issue with it, and then every other version of the game was just, we were all running the same version, right? Because they don't have different versions. We're all just running kind of the same code is what I'm saying. Fixed an issue that was causing crashes when searching in collectibles. Thank goodness. I'm so happy that that's actually resolved, because that was a big one. Pinatas and sports balls no longer trigger most combat abilities. This prevents exploits for Shadowhunter and Ice Sage, more notably in Shadow Towers, because what people would do is they would throw these things down, and essentially as Shadowhunter, you could shadow mark all of them. As Ice Sage, your class gem ability would end up proccing on all of them, and basically you would jump in the air, shoot straight down, and it would just have everything explode all around like the Shadow Tower Titan boss, and just kill them like in 2 seconds. Actually, I think it was less than 2 seconds. Fixed a bug allowing part of the Revenant's passive to work in Bomber Royale matches, providing a slight unfair advantage. I wouldn't really say Bomber's competitive in any way, shape, or form, but I do still like Bomber Royale. But seriously, put a new map in the game, guys. Don't wait till U10. We need it now, you know? Pinatas no longer count towards the kill X enemies in Y location for adventure dungeons, or for adventure quests, I mean. Blast jump in Bomber Royale no longer requires you to have a weapon equipped. That's interesting, because I guess it was under the Gunslinger's code, so it had to, you know, you had to have a weapon equipped in order to actually have yourself propel upward. The +2 jump granted by Sai and Sanguine, these are two different dragons, and the Twin Plague, I guess, is no longer granted in Bomber Royale or Battle Arena matches. So that's where we were getting that extra jump for Bomber Royale, and they also ended up removing it from the dragons for from a couple other dragons. Or is this just a repeat post? Yeah, it's just a repeat post. They just posted it twice for some reason. Made some changes to Shadowrun to bring it in line with the other dragons in the game. This is beautiful. So we finally see that the Sacred Scale Dragon is actually going to give us 250 mastery. He's also going to end up giving us actual stats, or at least it tells us the actual stats. We kind of already knew what these stats were. And it isn't actually giving us 1,000 extra max health like we originally thought that it was. It's just 20% max health, 500 magic damage, and 50 magic find. Now, he already ended up giving us that, but it didn't say it in the tooltip, and he was just giving us normal mount mastery. So this is the best dragon in the game to actually farm. If you're a starting player, you want to go for this one right away if you can, because it's very time consuming for sure, but this is the one dragon in the game that does not cost dragon coins, so he's not time gated in any form for once, compared to all of the other dragons that are actually costing dragon coins, which is extremely difficult to end up getting, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Also, the fragments of this dragon, the Sagely Dragon Scales, will be affected by Friday's bonus. So we will actually see it dropping like the scales like crazy if you farm it during Friday. I'll probably have to have a separate video just to talk about that alone, and why this dragon is something that you definitely want to go for as a starting player. So this following styles can now be unlocked with the Autumn Style Stash. I didn't even know that we could end up unlocking things with the Autumn Style Stash. I like going into a lot of these patch notes blind, unless it's like a really, really big one, because then I can get like a kind of genuine experience with you guys about like these things. Okay, so we got the Candy Corn Hood, then we've got a Moonwolf Mask, and that's it. Oh, no, it's just really laggy. So we got a Pumpkin Pie Ret hat. That's kind of interesting, kind of cute. And then what else? Is that it? That's it. And then out of Super Style Stashes, you can end up getting this Rainbow Unicorn hat, which I got an invisible head, but either way. Then there's going to be, I think the reason I didn't get most of the items out of that was because I already had them from previous years. So they corrected the red hot wings to refer to the person who ended up creating them. They also clarified the text on the Chronomancer Cubesley ally, which previously read reduces cooldown time by 25%, and they've changed it to a more accurate description, which increases cooldown recovery speed by 25%. Like, I'm sorry, whoever ended up making that decision is actually an idiot. Like, are you stupid? Reduce cooldown time makes way more sense than increases cooldown recovery speed. Like, I understand what they're going for, but it's like, dude, anyone who's played a video game knows what reducing cooldown means. Like, it's just weird. Now, the other thing too is, did they end up changing it on, say, the Prefect Penguin? This still does, oh, never mind, not the Prefect Penguin. I mean, Little Bergie. Did they end up changing the description on this one? Increases tooldown recovery speed by 25%. Okay, so they just changed the tool tip across the board of reduced cooldown. So now it's just a weird description. But anyways, the HyperX mounts, this is the HyperX Pinata mount, can now loot collect into 75 party animal pinatas. So that's going to be the pinata that you can end up getting out of the golden ticket chests. But I didn't end up, they were behind my face cam. I didn't end up opening any of those yet. They were actually from an event that ended up happening recently, but now we can get party animals out of it, so that's good. The White Hot Wings item is no longer pretending to be the wrong color. I didn't even know that they were the wrong color. Like, are they supposed to be something different? The White Hot Wings? No, they look exactly the same. They still didn't center these wings, unfortunately. Like, it's weird that they actually went in, changed the code of these things, and they didn't end up adjusting their physical appearance so that they were level instead of, you know, like, come on, guys, you could have gone the extra mile. They corrected the companion tooltip under styles to refer to the correct button to apply the style. So I guess when you went in here, you know, normally it wouldn't say whatever your button prompt is. So for me, it's mouse 2. Right click. Wings in the store will now reference the correct movement speed. I guess they didn't before. And then there's a couple more issues that have been fixed, and these are PS4 exclusive. So they fixed a bug with the Bucope Bombs trophy, preventing it from unlocking. It will now unlock properly and will work retroactively if you've already met the requirements to end up unlocking that. They also made some optimizations for the PS4 Pro systems. And then they got a little bit of an extra note saying that, in fact, they did end up fixing a lot of the exploits in the Shadow Tower, but unfortunately they didn't fix the issue regarding the Revenant. They don't talk about that specifically in the patch notes, but I'll put a link in the description to the patch notes itself. And then otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you did find it helpful or just enjoyed it in general, don't forget to like, sub, hit that notification bell, and if you want to support me, you can always check the links down below for the, you know, there's my merch store in the description. You can always sponsor the YouTube channel with that join button, or you can check the link for Gawkbox, which is a way you can donate to me for free. Sorry I'm all over the place. I'm a little bit under the weather, and I've been completely addicted to MapleStory. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.